Welcome, 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 my Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign. Welcome to your full moon to new moon read for March 2020. A What Do I Need read. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and fellow earth sign Virgo that I am. Though I have no planets in Capricorn, I have many friends who are. They're slow and steady wins the race, but loyal as they come, hardworking. I adore them. We have that in common. We are hardworking. So it truly is my honor to serve another earth sign, regardless of what placements and planets you might have in Capricorn. I'm thrilled. In a grounded way. Cool, cool. If you are new to my channel, please do like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, because aside from taking one day off a week, I'm pretty much putting out content every day. That's what I mean by professional witch, professional intuitive. This is my day job and my night job, because muggles work from sun to sun, but witches work never done. And pretty much Capricorns and Virgos and Taurians as well. Cool. So like, subscribe, and please comment in the box below. I like to know what these readings are, because it's like being dropped down in the middle of a, I don't know, like a Nora Ephron movie. In the middle of it, you get to see all the characters and a bit of the plot line, and then you're whipped out before you get to see anything else, particularly how it ends. So please do comment in the description box. But let's get down to this reading, shall we? Like, for instance, it is a general reading, my caps. So please take what resonates in your nervous system, right? How it feels. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. And remember, if you get triggered, that's probably your intuition telling you to pay attention more than, you know, taking offense. Being triggered is often an intuitive reaction that as you go deeper, you feel into it, you breathe into it, you get a piece of intuition. So if you think of it as like a golden nugget of intuition in a thin veneer of lead, toxicity, that triggery part of it, trust me, trust me, those are important signals from the soul. It's just decoding them is a little tricky. Cool, cool. Also, because this is a What Do I Need read, it's really going to the divine. We're doing, it's not technically a spread, it's what I call a 7-card draw. I'm pulling one card from 7 different decks to represent the different levels of spirit, the pantheons that I work with, to get you some clues, some tips, some hints, some divine guidance and grace about this full moon in Virgo, a healing one. Mercury finally goes direct. I'm so excited. Thank the gods I made it through. Oh, putting out videos during Mercury retrograde 3 times a year ain't fun, but you know, you do what you can. And my cat, the Taurus Melchior, absolutely agrees. Come on, sweetheart, come sit with me. Come on, booger. So sweet. I have like a screen door, well, a glass one because it's a winter now, but I had the inside door open and they tried to open the outside door. So door is closed for the rest of the day. Try again tomorrow. You don't get to it. I don't know why they would escape, but both of them got out once and they never did again. Savvy never goes out. He's like, screw you kids, I'll be up in bed. Cool, cool. So yeah, we're looking at this full moon in Virgo. On the 9th of March goes to the new moon in Aries, which is really cool because anytime a new moon in Aries, you only get one a year, right? And you get it in March. It's a perfect time to start anything, right? First sign of the zodiac and a new moon. It's pretty cool, cardinal fire. Yeah, let's see what the divine gives you, just so that you can find your way through under grace and in perfect ways. That being said, and also, if you can breathe as we do this consciously, see already how I'm speeding up, the energy's getting high, so woo, cool your jets, kid. Ground, put your roots down, right? The divine is always present in the now, even when my cats are being annoying. Come on, Melchior, calm your tits, baby. It's just such a baby. Anyway, let's do this. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype cards. All the decks that I read are in the description box below, all the way at the bottom. Go have a look. There's some good info there on your way down. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign, for this full moon in Virgo, to new moon next in Aries, March 2020. Please, what is the dominant archetype from this Cancerian collective within themselves, within another, within a situation, possibly all three or any interchangeable mix that they need to know about? What is the power that they will need to alchemize from lead to gold, from shadow to light, the month, this full moon to new moon next, these 2 weeks of the waning moon cycle? All right, every archetype has shadow and light. They're neutral, lead and gold. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold, which makes it deadly, right? You get lead in your bloodstream, you're screwed. Gold is actually a brilliant healing metal. Look up colloidal gold, because everybody knows about colloidal silver. Colloidal gold exists, but obviously more expensive, so it doesn't get as much hype, if you will. So 3 atoms have to be burned off, transformed, let go of in order to go from toxic to healthy, from lead to gold. So the shadow attribute and the light attribute are on here, but darlings, you got the hedonist archetype, and I have the hedonist archetype lifelong. You can have an archetype for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. There are some I have for like a day or two when needed, some that I have for a particular chapter of my life. This is true for anyone, and then some that are lifelong since birth. Read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace, who actually put out the deck. So we're going to start with the shadow, and remember, it's a little triggery. It's okay. Breathe. Shadow attributes of the hedonist: pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. I'm Generation X, my darlings. I pursued pleasure to the detriment of my health, and man, am I paying for it now. But I still look good. I'm still holding it together. Indulges at the expense of others. And, you know, if you've ever done it or had it done unto you, you know how horrible that is. But, you know, that's the learning curve of it. You know, no one's born with complete ethics and boundaries intact. In fact, we're not born with boundaries at all. We learn them from our families. Oh, nightmare. Okay, so you're moving towards the light attribute. Remember, this could be you, this could be somebody else, or this could be an overall hedonistic archetype playing out through a situation for this full to new. The light attribute inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, right? A hedonist does that. They're like, oh, I'm totally that. like coffee. I don't just make coffee. I'm a potion witch. My coffee is so delicious, and I put vanilla extract and organic honey in it, and I stir it up, and I say a little prayer on it. You want? Unfortunately, Wonder Mug. Unfortunately, I just finished this cup. But if you've ever seen me drink coffee in any of these videos, it's like, it's so good. Inspiring people to make good coffee at home. And half of it is Starbucks, the other half is something else. I'm not telling you what it is. The second part of this celebrates the beauty in yourself, right? So inspiring you to embrace the good things in life, as well as celebrating the beauty within yourself. Now, the beauty within yourself, regardless of what's going on physically, because I'm a Virgo, I can look in the mirror, although I have no crow's feet. Thank you, Andy McDowell. Thank you, Neutrogena. Thank you, Rapid Wrinkle Repair, moisturizers. That we can all find flaws within ourselves. So this is about looking even beyond the physical, into the core, into the beauty, that even grief has beauty in it, right? It's like the emotions that we have, they may suck at the time, but there's something beautiful about grief. Grief is love that doesn't know where to go once the object of its attention and affection has gone through death, divorce, or distance, right? Tricky shit, but if you really embrace that as love trying to find itself, giving love to grief, which is love, it unfolds into something beautiful. Yeah, you'll cry your eyes out, but you will be set free. And it's a process, right? So I'm not saying that there's going to be grief in this necessarily, but to give you that thing of the beauty within, that the hedonist over time is not just able to tune to, but be able to see no matter what's going on. Doesn't mean they always express it, though. So off to a good start. It's one of my favorite archetypes. That was the collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and higher selves of all involved. Now we'll go one by one. Let's ask the angels what you need. Breathe. Damn, that coffee's good. My angels, please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective, sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. What do they need? Considering we've got the Hedonist there. Yeah, the shadow's pretty icky. Very much the Me Too moment looking to happen, right? But what is what do they need to help them get into the light? You know, it's waning moons. 3 things have to be let go of. 3 atoms, perfect for waning moon to get from lead to gold, and you get the divine guidance card, which means the higher you are in vibration, and we could talk about that. Oh my God, so many people think that by repressing their emotions, they're going to achieve a high vibration. Oh yeah, you'll have a high vibration, except you're dragging everything you're not facing. I had a therapist say to me once when I asked her, it's like, there's all these things I want, and I feel like this is, my God, 2001. And I said to her, so many things I want, but I feel like as soon as I catch up, they're just right out of my reach. And she looked at me and she said, Mark, that's because you are dragging a dead elephant behind you. I was like, oh my God. So you can't, but you can raise your vibration through prayer, through meditation, through enjoying life, by embracing the beauty in all things, so that it's easier to hear, feel, see, experience divine guidance. Pretty good. The Hedonist actually has, in its light, at least, its light, its golden attributes, more access to that than perhaps to the martyr. Because you know what? As a witch, as a gay witch, as a gay 51-year-old witch, I have been through enough suffering to last me another lifetime, but I had to decide whether I wanted to be a hedonist or a martyr about it. And I think we know which one I took. So let's keep going. I recommend the same. As I get down off that crawl, someone needs the wood. Breathe. We're going to ask the goddesses, the collective of the divine feminine energy, half of all the energy in the universe, right? You got masculine, feminine, yin, yang, all that. So here we go. My goddesses, please, 1 card in clarity for this Capricorn collective. Ooh, they just told me slow down. Okay. 1 card in clarity for this Capricorn collective. Sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Please, my goddesses, what do they need? 1 card in clarity. Put it right in my hand. Thank you very, very, very much. So remember, you got the Hedonist with divine guidance. Sounds very Dionysian to me. Interesting, the goddesses are giving you the Leo card. Now, since this is not a Leo reading, the first thing I usually say, particularly in not a spread where each position has a meaning, they're just puzzle pieces, that this absolutely can be someone else, but I don't think they need to be even a fire sign, right? Like, I go more with the astrological houses than the signs with court cards, but on this deck it says Leo right on it, so that's why it can be a little limiting, but I think you can jump off from there and see it in a larger point of view. 5th house energy is about creativity and good fortune, pleasure, the hedonist, right? So think of a kitty cat like I do, kind of like in the sun, just sort of like basking in that sun, like, right? Bellies to the sun, to the sky. So that fixed fire, right? Here we've got Chantico, who is making loaves of bread, right? And putting it in what? An oven, fixed fire at a sustained heat in order to transform something gradually, but too hot it burns, too cool it's warm dough, right? Warm stuff, right? It's not necessarily bread. So there's an alchemical process here about fixed fire, which can be desire and creativity and expression of art in some way, shape, or form. But let us not forget the good fortune part, that it's often by connecting with our creativity, bringing it into form, even if it's just verbal, that triggers our own good fortune. So if that is someone, you know, they might be a vehicle of that divine grace and guidance. They might be the inspiration for that you have that hedonist and appreciation and pleasure for. So these three do make sense together as I am tuning to them. Cool. Let's ask the gods with the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke's deck. Love this deck. Breathe. For that other half of the universal energy, the divine masculines, the divine yang, my gods, please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective, sun, moon, rising sign, for this full moon to new moon next, right? Virgo to Aries, please. What do they need? What do they need to be aware of? What do they need to deal with? What do they need to think about, since we're looking divine masculine, my gods? Three of Swords. Get to the heart of the matter. Ever since I started reading tarot at age 12, I'm going to be 52 this year, so that means 40 years I've been reading cards. The Rider-Waite version, right, the heart with 3 swords in it as heartbreak, always bothered me because heartbreak's emotional. That's cups, not swords, at least the way I read it. Everyone's going to read it differently. To me, it's more about focus, right? Because actually, if you look at the heart in the Rider-Waite, in the 3 of Blades, 3 of Swords, it's not broken. It's pierced. Get to the heart of the matter. That's mind. That's air. So it's an ability to focus in order to get to the heart of the matter. Focused air with fixed fire right next to it definitely says to go within. Focus on the heart of the matter. Even if it's not an emotional thing, it may be use your mind to get to what is it that you really want, desire, fire, what you want to create, what you feel like will give you good fortune. There's a piece of divine guidance. In other words, divine guidance isn't just outside of us, it's inside of us. And a hedonist in their light absolutely can find that, right? Can find music in the wind, right? Can find perfection in a rainy day, right? Tune into that, see through the eyes of spirit, through the eyes of source, but get to the heart of the matter. This really does feel more like go within, because earth and water signs are more yin, more internal. I'm a Virgo with a Pisces moon. That's why I do so much prayer and meditation, just to do this work alone. But for my Capricorns, it might even mean luxuriate a little, rest, go within, close your eyes, meditate, and find your inspiration, your creativity, and by the way, your sexuality as well. Leo's got a lot of cool, that whole 5th house gestalt there. It's worth the price of admission. This is free. The whole system, if you will, of creative energy there. Cool. We're gonna go to the next pantheon, which are the Ascended Masters, those who've already played the game of human life and are reaching back through time and space to assist those of us still in the game. Let's ask the Ascended Masters through the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, baby. Love Pack. Love, baby. That's where it's at. Yeah. 4 suits. We've got the problem. We've got luck. We've got healing, and we've got grace. Let's see which one you get in your face. Breathe. It's better than if I ended the rhyme with luck. Something else would have come out of my mouth. My Ascended Masters, please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective, sun, moon, rising sign, for this full moon in Virgo to new moon in Aries, please. What do they need? We've got the hedonist, we've got divine guidance, we've got the 5th house creative fire of the mother of flames, fixed fire Leo, with the 3 of swords, getting to the heart of the matter here. So my Ascended Masters, please, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, a piece of the problem, or a piece of healing. What do they need to look at, to deal with? Expectations, one of the problem suits. Half of this deck is the problem, which makes sense because we need to know what the problems are, or at least get a clue, a tip, a hint about them so we know how to navigate. So I'll tell you this, like anybody else, I've had my share of false expectations, great expectations. Paging Miss Havisham, please pick up the white courtesy telephone. Really know that, right, that's great expectations? I think so. Yeah, well, classic literature. I have no memory for such things anymore. But we know that then expectations, after a while, are the seeds of heartbreak and disappointment, right? So here we've got a throne up on a chair, and this guy's like, you want to be with me? I expect you to climb up there and sit on that fucker. And she's like, all right. but it's such a scary climb, and there's a gray cloud over it, so never works out well. So keep an eye on your expectations. Now, knowing what your expectations are is part of the game. Remember, this is waning moon, letting go, releasing. Maybe that's 1, 2, or all 3 of the atoms in lead that need to be transmuted to make lead gold. Know what they are, and then, yeah, you could say, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Or go in and say, well, it's okay to want that, right? Like, that's part of fixed fire. But what's the difference between a desire and an expectation? Is the belief that that's the only way you'll be happy or satisfied the way you want it to be. Where, look, I've been casting spells and teaching prayers and all this stuff, and then I started studying the quantum, getting that the things that we want, we're picking up on it intuitively, what's written in the divine plan, in the script, in the quantum field of it all. So we may only get the impulse of it and then affix ourselves to it playing out a specific way, rather than, this is a little Abraham Hicks for you, going general with it. Particularly if it's something that feels good in your energy system when you're even just desiring it, right? To say, well, if that's how it's going to come, great. But let me do some indirect manifestation here. I'm just going to feel this feeling, this good, yummy feeling. And the universe may not bring me exactly the form in the time, the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why, the way I'm feeling it, wanting it. But it'll start bringing me circumstances that allow me to keep feeling this, which is the only reason you want it anyway, right? Is because it will feel a certain way, and then the divine guidance will take you to it. Right away, no. Divine guidance isn't about making the ego or the personality happy. It's about the growth and the evolution of the soul. So it will take you through maybe an obstacle course, or maybe the scenic route, and sometimes, yes, maybe even the straight line towards it, but all for the betterment of your soul, not the comfort of your personality. So expectations, look, you're going to get something out of this anyway. Something's going to manifest from your creativity, because something always does. But the expectations depend on how much drag you have. Like, what's the dead elephant behind you? Is that the grief over past expectations that did not work out the way you wanted them to, right? That can be a real drag. Like when you say, oh my God, that's such a drag, think of it in terms of like aerodynamics, right? Though there's too much drag on this airplane, right? So what do? They make it more streamlined, or literally something you're dragging behind you. Let's ask your higher self what it feels, thinks, sees about all of this through the Whispers of Love Oracle, a lovely, lovely oracle deck. Take a deep breath. The higher self collective, the higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for this Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to this new moon next in Aries. Please, what is the whisper of love here? We've got the Hedonist, divine guidance, the Leo card, the Three of Swords, and expectations. This feels like either a recipe for disaster or a recipe of something really wonderful if they can get to the heart of the matter about what they really want here, at least in terms of how they want to feel about this as they go to tune into that hedonistic divine guidance. So please, the higher selves of all involved, what's your guidance and grace for this Capricorn collective, this full moon to new moon next? Get to know each other, indicating there's another person involved here. Get to know each other. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. So though, you know, like I said, this could be a person, it could be you. If there is someone that you are hedonistically guided to, divinely guided to, that might be, for instance, an artist, right? Or very pleasurable or very creative, right? With good fortunes sort of in their orbit. Get to know each other. Now, I know. We are in the times of the instant hookups. I wonder if coronavirus is going to slow that shit down. Honey, I work too hard to hook up. man, I've got a 21-year-old chasing me and a 66-year-old chasing me. I did the math. Can I have a 44-year-old? It's like right in the middle, all right? No, get to know each other. I'm not jumping into bed with anybody at my age at this point. Take me to dinner, or at least let's like go for a walk. Get to fucking know me first, right? Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. And you don't know that until you spend time with them. Even if they say, oh no, I'm not looking for anything serious. You get to know each other and suddenly you get, oh my God, we were totally guided. Right? We've been in the same places at different times, or different places, you know, or in the same place at the same time, but didn't bump into each other. That's what I call the fingerprints of the divine. Aspects in retrospect of divine guidance, right? It's just not yet, not yet, not yet, boom, right? So now, does this mean romantic sexual? Well, I want to say with the Leo card, yes, but not necessarily so. And that really does not mean then that this Three of Swords is about heartbreak, particularly if it's get to know each other. But watch, your expectations can be the big fly in the ointment. So let's see if we can get you, I love this deck, from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, a little something to keep that fly out of the ointment, unless it's already in there, a healing mantra. These are so good. But you see, there's not very much written on the cards themselves. One side of the card is the mantra. They're in English, not Sanskrit or Latin. The other side is the name of the mantra, so you can look it up in the Bookie Book. And the Bookie Book is a very helpful Bookie Book. So let's check it out, shall we? The voices of the Ascended Masters who gave us, brought to you, expectations, brought to you by the Ascended Masters dealing with problems. Here we go. Yes, I am having fun with this. Thank you, my masters. Please, one card in clarity for this brother, sister, Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign, for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Please, my Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra for them for this full moon to new moon next in March 2020? Growing beyond guilt. I've had this one. Because look, we all, through expectations, we all think we have certain things, we don't reach them, and heartbreak and guilt about others. You know, it's like, oh, it would have if only they would have, or if only I had, or me if I wish I didn't, right? Regrets. Growing beyond guilt, the mantra is, I don't even need to look, I know it so well, it couldn't have happened any other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. When you really get that there is a divine plan, but it's quantum. It's not carved in stone. It's carved in quarks? I don't even know how to say that. It's carved in quantum probabilities, right? So even if you didn't do the thing, or the other person didn't do the thing, another version of them would have. You kind of catch up to where you're supposed to be. Again, not to satisfy or satiate the expectations of the ego or the personality, but for the benefit, the growth, and the development of the soul, which is an alchemical process often called ascension, which is about what? Heat and pressure. It's how a piece of coal, C-O-A-L, not K-O-H-L, C-O-A-L, over time, right? And pressure and heat becomes a diamond, right? That's the refining process we're all going through, and why it's so damn intense on the planet. Keeping in mind, we went thousands of years as hunter-gatherer than agriculture, right? Now we've got the internet, and we're way more stressed out than ever because things are moving fast. So putting this together, my hedonist, if you got some shadow stuff there dragging behind you, pleasure to the detriment of health. Definitely. Indulges at the expense of others. Yeah, in my 20s I sure did. And in my 30s too. But to get that, then that growing beyond guilt, it couldn't have happened any other way. It was scripted. You are a soul that was cast, if you will, like a casting director casts an actor to play the role of the name in the body in this lifetime that you are in right now. So you knew this was going to happen before you came in, but you needed to forget in order to play the role. That's what makes a good performance, particularly acting, when the actor forgets they're acting. They're not acting, they're being in front of you. In other words, they're not trying to remember lines, right? They're really in that moment. So it couldn't have happened any other way. And it's all divinely guided. And yes, probably involving your own creativity. Now, if that takes some of the pressure off, right? Maybe that's one of the things you wane with these expectations of yourself, of getting it right. And if you don't get it right, the world's going to end. And you know what? No, it's not. It couldn't happen any other way. So get to the heart of the matter. What is it really that it is that you want, right? Going back to this card of Leo. What is the creative spark within you that feels good, right? Creativity, pleasure, that has a piece of your good fortune in it. And if and when, and I think you know who this is about, the get to know each other thing, take it slow. Get to know each other. And that's why I love my Capricorns. Slow and steady wins the race. They are the mountain. Nobody runs up a mountain, right? Ruled by Saturn, the father of the zodiac, setting boundaries. Also, Saturn in the Greek mythos is Cronus, where we get the word chronology, time, the god of time with the sickle, father of the Olympians. So that's a lot to consider, but don't forget that if you are the hedonist here, you can enjoy this process, or you can at least find the beauty in it somehow, even if it's not giving you the instant gratification that hedonists often want. But then again, Capricorns are usually willing to take the long haul to get what it is that they want, even if they have to go through a couple of different versions of it as they go. So may the Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign be blessed with all that they need this full moon to new moon next, that they may enjoy this, right? That they may follow the divine guidance, their creativity, their good fortune to get to the heart of the matter, to release expectations, getting to know each other, and growing beyond guilt. Oh, because I have a feeling once this really begins to manifest, probably into the new moon cycle of this, you're going to be able to look back and go, oh my God, that sucked, but it was perfect, right? It got me to exactly what I wanted, or close enough where you've got that good hedonistic vibe going on. Cool, cool. So may you be blessed with that for this full moon to new moon next, that you may heal, grow, and become the best that you can be for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. And thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment, right? Comment if you have an idea what this is about, because it's fun for me to know that, because I am a Virgo and I like detail. And this is, at best, broad strokes, even from different pantheons of the divine. Cool, cool. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries, my Capricorns. Earth power! Hey, what is this? Isn't this Earth? Yeah, sorry, I just went Avatar Aang on you. Earth Nation, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.